So, a situation that I can say that was probably the worst moment of my life, but in the end, there was growth and happiness for me, would probably be the passing of my Nana. My Nana and I didn't have the best relationship because my dad and I didn't have the best relationship. Me and him literally never talked. Well, take that back. He never talked to me, and whenever I was 8 years old, I saw him like one time, and then that was it. I didn't see him again until I don't know, like 8 years later, 8 or 9 years later. But my Nana was she would always send me like birthday cards and Christmas cards and tell me she loves me and she misses me, but I probably haven't seen her since I was 8 years old too. So when I turned 16, that's when my dad just kind of comes out the blue and wishes me happy birthday. And I guess it was an attempt for him to try to come back in my life, but still, as time went on, he wasn't really in my life. He wasn't present at all, actually. So it really wasn't getting anywhere. But one day, I was 17 years old, and it was in June. It was summertime. I just got off work, and earlier that day, my dad had texted me and said, "Hey, whenever you get off of work, call me." I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is new. We never talk, so this is new. I guess he's trying to make an effort now. I get in the car with my mom, and instantly I knew that something was wrong. And the vibe was just really off, but she kept trying to act like everything was fine and normal. So we get home, and I call my dad. I'm like, "Hey, Dad," and he's like, "Hey, I have to tell you something." And I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" He says, "I just wanted to call and tell you that my mom died," talking about my Nana. And I was devastated. I haven't seen my Nana. At that point, I hadn't seen my Nana since I was 8 years old. And the last time I probably even talked to her was, I can't even remember. I don't remember. And I asked him, I said, "Was there going to be a funeral?" And he said yes, he'll send me the information. And I could feel myself about to start breaking down over the phone, but I said, he's not going to hear me break down over the phone. We're not there yet. He's not going to hear that. So I said, "Okay, I'll talk to you later, Dad." And then he said, okay. I hung up. I ran in the room with my mom. I said, "My Nana passed away?" And she said, "Yeah, Michaela." And I broke down right then and there. And my Nana's death was the hardest for me to accept and try to work through, I guess, because, like I said, I hadn't talked to her. Well, I hadn't seen her since I was 8 years old. I'm 17 at this point, and we don't really have a good relationship. And something was telling me 2-3 weeks before she had passed away to just call her. And I kept putting it off. I said, I'll call her later. And I never did. So to hear that she had passed away was eating me up. It was eating me alive, actually. So I didn't really understand it. So fast forward to her funeral. I get there, and the other extended family members was hugging everybody in the front row at the funeral, and I was the last person in line. So it was my turn to get up there, and I hugged my dad. And as soon as he hugged me, he started crying. He bawled his eyes out. He said, "I'm so sorry, Michaela." He just kept saying it over and over again. "I'm so sorry, Michaela. I love you so much. We're gonna get through this." And literally, I saying this to me, I start crying because he's crying, so I'm crying, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's just because it was just so different for me. Hearing my dad tell me he loved me was just so out of the norm for me, because I couldn't tell you last time I heard that from him. So, yeah, we stopped crying. I sat next to him, and after that, he made a promise to me that he's going to do better and he's going to come around more. And as time went on, he did. He kept his promise. He was around a lot more. He was calling me, without me having to initiate anything. He called me, he texted me, and it just, I don't know. He kept his promise. And looking back at everything now, I 1000% believe that, as sad as it is, my Nana, her having to die, it gave my dad it woke something in him to, take charge and show initiative and step up a little bit. And I am so happy about that. I mean, I love that he's now in my life, because all I've wanted was for him to be in my life, and I got that. So I think that shows growth on not only my end, but on his end definitely. And yeah, so